So let's look at the following problem. Suppose you're offered the following deal. You roll a 6-sided die. You roll a 6, you win $9. If you roll a 4 or a 5, you win $3. Otherwise, you pay $10. So we're going to complete this table where X is the profit. That's one of the random variables here. And we're going to complete the table for the smallest to largest value of X, where again, X is the profit. So we could think that there's a die, and the die, if you roll, let's see, if you roll a 6, then you win $9, so X is 9. And the probability that that happens while rolling a die on a 6-sided die would be 1 in 6. But then, alternatively, if you roll a 4 or a 5, then you win $3, and the probability of that happening is 2 out of 6. And then the last choice is, if the die comes up anything else. So what's left? 1, 2, or 3? And if the die comes up any of those, then, you lose $10. And that happens, 3, with likelihood 3 out of 6. So to find the expected profit, what we're trying to find is E of X. And E of X, as we know, is just the sum of the values of the random variable times their probabilities. So in this case, that's going to be negative 10 times 3/6 plus 3 times 2/6 plus 9 times 1/6. And if we want to do that calculation without, doing it by hand, we can use a calculator for that. So if you have your calculator on, we'll put the data in a list. So where is that? Okay, so if we go to Stat and then Edit, I'll put the values of X, the random variable, in list 1. So those are negative 10, 3, and 9, and then I'll put the probabilities in list 2. The associated probabilities are 3 out of 6. Whoops, oh yeah, that worked. 2 divided by 6, and 1 divided by 6. So those are the three probabilities. And then, if we quit out of here back to the home screen, what we want to do is multiply list 1 times list 2. Then, if you take list 1 times list 2, that gives you the product of X times P of X. But that's not really enough. What you can see what we want to do here is add these up. So, if we go to second Stat to List and go over to Math, what we want to do is sum. So we want to sum list 1 times list 2 and add those up, and we get negative 2.5. So the expected value here is negative 2.5. So, how would we interpret this? If we played the game many, many, many times on average, we would expect to lose about $2.50. So based on this result, should you play the game? Well, only if you want to lose money. If you don't mind losing the sum of money and you think the game is fun, then maybe it's worth it for you to play. But if you are playing the game to make money, then this would not be the right game to play. Okay, that's all for this slide.